And if you do it right, this is what you will see. Hey guys, my name is Ben and I'm going to do another diagnostic video for a Whirlpool Cabrio Platinum dryer. This will work for their washers as well as a few other Cabrio styles, especially the newer ones that don't have buttons but have the touch screens. If it's a little bit older than this model, it may not work. So if your console top looks something like this, probably will not work, but it may be worth giving a try just in case. The whole deal with this unit is we want to do the diagnostics on it from what they consider the standby mode. You can press this and power it on. You cannot activate diagnostics when it looks like you're ready to basically start a cycle. So you need to make sure you turn this off and make sure that there's nothing else that's responsive on this. You can unplug it and then plug it back in, and that will reset it to where you can immediately go into the diagnostics mode. To enter diagnostics mode on this style unit, you'll need to pick any three of the buttons that do not include the start button or the power on and off button. Only the green circled buttons are the ones that can be used to enter the diagnostics mode, but make sure to remember which three buttons you press because they will need to be referenced to make any choices inside the diagnostics mode once you've finally activated it. Once you've selected the buttons that you're going to use here, you need to press them in a order of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 within 8 seconds. For all the intents and purposes of this video, I'm going to use the right timer adjust, dryness level, and temperature. So I'm going to press them all, the 9 inputs, within 8 seconds. And if you do it right, this is what you will see. And if everything's normal, you're going to see this 88 up here. If there's something wrong with the dryer, you're going to see some sort of numerical code. Once in diagnostics, every single command gets issued from the number on the button that you pressed when you put the machine into diagnostics. So I've labeled them 1, 2, and 3. Depending also on how long you press the buttons, it will change the option that you'll select and go to. Do note that the long press takes at or over 5 seconds, so it's unlikely you're going to access the wrong thing. Pressing the buttons momentarily will give you access to the UI and the control system tests, which handle error codes and other major features. The second button is the installation diagnostics, which handle testing components to see if they have failed. And then finally the third button, which is used to cycle through error codes if the machine has more than one. Pressing the buttons for more than 5 seconds yields a second set of commands, such as exiting the entire diagnostic system and putting the machine in standby mode, testing the software version of the machine, and then finally resetting all the error codes on the machine to see if any new ones or the same ones pop up again. Pressing the first button will allow you to start the UI and control test. If you press the button and an error code pops up, you'll be able to cycle through the codes by pressing the third button you used to enter the diagnostic mode. On this machine there aren't any codes, so instead I'm testing the UI by twisting the knobs and pressing buttons to make sure all the lights turn on and off. If you want to end the diagnostic mode, simply press the power button twice. If you're still in the user interface test, you can press the start button to begin to run tests on the machine. The machine will first display a code on the screen indicating the console identification number. The unit will also run the motor, heat, and water valve while it's doing this test. To turn it off, open the door, and it will also display a door switch code on the interface screen indicating the type of dryer the machine is. If you don't see anything, then the door switch may be bad. Going back to the initial diagnostic menu, which may require you to input the button presses again, if you press the second button, it will get you into the install diagnostics. This mode basically makes the machine do a test run to verify it works as intended between the heat, airflow, and water. Pressing the start pause button begins the tests and the results will be displayed on the screen. But do note that the codes may not make much sense. It's a hexadecimal notation. To figure out what that means, you will need the tech manual that comes with your dryer. To find that, you'll need to open the console up by removing 2 or 3 screws from the back of the machine, lifting up, and then grab the manual and looking inside of it. Every type of machine has different hex codes in it, as well as error codes that may vary slightly from machine to machine. The dryer I did this video on is a gas dryer from Whirlpool, but the codes should be very similar to an electric dryer from Whirlpool or one of its subsidiaries. A washer will be pretty different on the codes, but accessing the diagnostics should be the very same way. Here's a chart of error codes for the Cabrio dryers that I've typed out, rather than just copying the manual itself. The dryer codes here aren't entirely conclusive, and they will only show you what may potentially be wrong with the dryer. Investigating the codes in tandem with the install diagnostics will allow you to troubleshoot any major issues rather quickly. But remember that if you aren't getting any response from the machine itself to get codes or put it in diagnostics, the control board itself is probably bad and needs replaced. Remember also that in order to clear the codes, you'll press and hold the third button for 5 seconds to clear the codes on the unit. In the process of shooting this video, I actually got the F4E3 air restriction code on the unit, but I cleared it too fast to show how it's done. However, I'm pretty sure you get the idea on how to do that on this unit. And finally, when you're done with everything, simply press the power off once or twice, or open the door to the dryer to exit all the modes and place the unit back in standby. And that's it, you're done with your Cabrio dryer. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment field, or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos on diagnostics and other appliance stuff.